The story of how Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State withdrew his son, his beloved son,
silently
from public school was all over social media. If you could recall, last year, the governor enrolled him in one of the northern Nigerian oldest public schools with pride and confidence. However, there were mixed reactions from Nigerians when he withdrew his young man. And he has responded since that news broke out that, listen, it was unsafe for his son to remain in that school. When he came out with that information, parents now went for him. So you have information that our school is unsafe, and you carried your child. What are your thoughts on this?
For me, I personally think that when he enrolled the child into the school, there was a lot of public adulation. He received all the praises. People were happy. Now, he got information that something was about to happen. He actually got information that he was being a target. And according to the stories, they said they had intercepted about two times kidnappers that were coming to abduct the son because they wanted to pay him back. Maybe you said you will not pay ransom. So if we take this, your son, let's see if you will not pay ransom. So he decided to remove the child silently from the school after COVID-19. So when every other person came back to school, they were expecting the son to resume, and they realized that he wasn't coming. So that silently was where I had the problem. You could have said, okay, I heard intelligence that something is about to happen, and it's targeted at me, and I want to take this child away. So it shows that you have respect for the people because you've raised their hopes that if you can be here, that means the school is worthy enough to have their own children. Now you got an information and silently, so that silence is where I had a problem.
Mara, let me come to you.
Yeah. So I understand Nigerians, the sentiment, really, because you're looking at it like, so for those of us that do not have the choice, that cannot take our own children out and put them somewhere safer, what does that mean? What are you trying to say to us? So I get that sentiment. It feels like a betrayal, especially for the parents of the students in that school as well. Like, oh, so there must have been something that is coming to us, and you just quietly saved your own child. So I get that. But as a mother, from the beginning, I just thought it was a bit, I'm trying to look for a nice word, like it was not right. It was not proper. It was not well thought out. Because you're a man in a certain position, a man in a strategic position. And all over the world, people who are in strategic positions, leaders of countries, and, their children are put in places that first their safety is paramount. It's just normal that people will target people like that. They will target your family and whatever they think, and wherever they think there's a loophole, they'll take advantage of that. I remember when Prince Harry joined the British Army and went to Afghanistan, it was quiet until he was done with his own exercise and had left before we knew that he was part of that exercise. Because what will happen, apart from targeting him, you also put the whole crew at risk. You put that whole school at risk when you say that there's a sitting governor's son in a school like that, especially at a time like this.
And it's those state funds you used to get you out.
So now, secondly, for me, I hope it teaches the governor to be more sensitive to the plight of people, because he now understands, because it also proves to me that if his son had been kidnapped, he would have paid ransom.
3 children were shot dead because the governor did not pay ransom. And 3 families that have raised their children to the point of university just had the misfortune of being in Nigeria. So it comes to may Nigeria not happen to you. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. If you have chosen to become the governor, many politicians will say, how much is the salary safe? What are we even enjoying in office? Then why are you there? Nobody forced you. Nobody put your name on the ticket. Nobody forced you to go and campaign. You said you could solve the problem. You saw that Nigeria had lots of problems. You went to campaign. You carried yourself and your family. Made people vote for you because we thought you could help solve our problem. Then something happens and you are willing to sacrifice lives because you feel, see, at the end of the day, until we get it right with leadership, every other thing will continue to go bad. And until we see sacrifice on the part of our leaders, it is not going to be, it will cost us a whole lot to save this country.
Let me sure I understand you, Tokwe. He doesn't want to take money from the coffers of the government, money that they don't even have. Remember, allocation has totally dropped.
Yeah.
He doesn't have money. He hasn't paid salaries. He sacked 4,000 teachers because I can't afford salaries. Now you're saying pay ransom from these same coffers that there's no money. Yes, I understand the exigencies of the
It is his
situation.
child who did not
Yes,
pay.
so that's the sentiment. If it was my child, I would beg him to pay ransom. But you understand where that uneasy. So when you say uneasy head lies
ahead, yeah.
But how in that kind of balance?
What's the
what
focus?
What would we do? What do we do?
What does a
What can
leader
we
do when you are faced with crisis
Let me
and
ask you
majority of
that
people are
question.
suffering?
What would you have done?
So for me, at the end of the day,
borrow money from Lagos State to pay.
we need to get those children out.
No.
Would you have removed your child
So my
or not?
question to you, you are the
As long
governor.
as
Would you borrow from Lagos State?
Morayo,
Let's ask direct
I
questions.
will not apply to become a governor for a problem I cannot
that's
solve. Number two, I have said is that this ransom that we're discussing should have been paid before any child got dead.
Yeah.
You can now, can we say we cannot trace money?
Hey.
Morayo, you are paying people money every time. You cannot trace the money.
so-
is it that they cannot, when money goes out, the money is kept for years, that nobody is spending that money?
Yes.
And
Maybe
government is
they are
not ready to
now
solve the problem.
you're answering the
But I'm
question,
saying
yeah.
you pay and you follow the money. We are not ready to pay. We're not ready to solve the problem because our leaders have excuse. They have options.